Welcome back. Many of you will have been closely following the serial killer runs on the channel, from Arkham Asylum right through to Arkham Knight, but we've only been focusing on what Batman has been doing, who he's been killing, and what mischief he's been getting up to. But, oh hang on, something doesn't feel right. Batman? Asylum? What is wrong with me? Okay, there we go. Before the madness of the Asylum, there were some adventures which exclusively involved Girl before she became Bra, and Rotting before he became man's most hated son. The pair are two of man's most loyal followers, and would become a future power couple among the serial killer elite, and today we'll be looking at their only playable adventure, A Matter of Family. So, what are the rules? Rule number 1, every enemy that can be killed must be killed. Rule number 2, don't take this too seriously, and if you enjoy it, there's an entire playlist of these videos for your viewing pleasure, which I'll link down below in the description. Rule number 3, kills are counted on a play-by-play basis. There's no real steadfast rules for what counts as a kill. Veterans of the series will know that inverted and environmental takedowns are always kills, but aside from that, for this special edition of Serial Killer Run, everything is fair game, and as we look to advance this series into the future, for the first time we'll be counting kills claimed by both Girl and Rotting. Rule number 4, like the video, it pushes it into the algorithm and it helps out massively, like a silly amount considering it's one tiny button placed below the video. And of course subscribe, it's free, easy, and you'll get a pretty consistent stream of Arkham content ranging from serious documentaries all the way to whatever the hell this is. So hit the subscribe button and let's get into— whoa, slow down. Okay, well, I guess that's kill number 1 already. Who knows how long he was being left dangling there. The next kill comes when Girl glides into this thug at high speed, kicks him in the neck and throws him into this wall before hitting this pretty cool pose. The third kill comes in probably the most brutal kill of the series so far. Girl hits the nastiest combo of all time, using all the skills in her arsenal to take down this guy, before driving her heel into his neck. I'm liking Girl so far, she has potential. Girl talks to Rotting, asking where he is, since this is their first date, and he drops in, saving her from a potential bullet to the head by punting this man in the head, as we add a 4th kill to the count before we've even pressed a button. Man has clearly trained his followers well, because this is exemplary work by the pair. You may notice that Rotting switches between male pattern baldness and luscious locks, and that's actually due to a rare medical condition called Ouroboros hair. It's real, look it up. Anyway, our favourite kill-counting couple are faced with some of Joker's goons, and they begin fighting them off. Their first combined kill comes from a team-up, with Girl throwing this goon into the air before Rotting drives his stick into the guy's chest, breaking everything in his torso. The next kill comes when Rotting returns the favour, setting up this thug to be taken right to Suplex City, bitch. And I've seen enough Kurt Angle footage in my time to understand that this guy didn't tuck his chin, and thus hit the concrete floor and landed with a broken frickin' neck. This is followed by the final kill of this section, as Girl throws this guy into the air, and for the life of me I cannot understand what happens here, but it looks like Rotting kicks his man into the air before he drives his stick into his chest. I'm not sure, but it kills him nonetheless. While we climb up to Jonkler and Harry Quinn's new amusement park, let's talk lore. Jimmy G has been kidnapped and we have to save him and some bum-ass cops, and also Man isn't allowed to join the party due to his 3-day communication ban after he asked AI Darth Vader to recite Ye's song World War III word for word. Oh, and also this takes place before the Asylum, and Girl is actually Jimmy G's hyper-intelligent Discord mod daughter. Anyway, you aren't here for story or emotional depth, you are here for kills, and I shall deliver. The couple come across this sniper, and Girl uses her elite strike pack gamer hacks to fry this guy alive. I'm serious, this guy is electrocuted in what I can only assume is a pure metal box and left in an electrified state for 5 seconds before dropping to the floor. Adding on to this, he has a sniper in his hand, which is most likely made from carbon steel. So yeah, he's pretty dead. Anyway, after missing out on 3 kills here, Rotting and Girl are faced with an RPG-wielding Jonkler, who fires at them and splits them up in the process. This means we'll have to catch up with Rotting later. Girl makes her way up the inside of the oil rig and finds this blissfully unaware man who is rapidly thrown into this metal railing, killing him after he snaps all the bones protecting vital organs. She eventually finds 8 new victims and begins claiming them. She takes the first down by smashing into him and throwing his lifeless corpse to the floor. These are counted when Man does them, and so we don't discriminate and we'll add it to the count. The next kill comes when she again suplexes a man without him tucking, which means he's either paralysed or dead, and since we're always looking to boost our count, he's dead. The next kill comes when she grabs a man and throws him into this junction box, putting enough volt through him to fry his brain quicker than spending 6 seconds on YouTube Shorts. And the next kill comes when she kicks this guy right across the jaw, with follow through and everything, so he's either dead or has no jaw. And again, we want to boost this count, so... Girl misses out on 3 kills here, but finds herself at the top of the oil rig and does some very light aura farming atop this place, before searching for more victims. She disguises this as looking for cops stolen from the city by Jonkler, but she, much like Man, knows that where there's innocents in danger, there's kills to be added to the count. She goes to the merry-go-round first and gets her wish granted as she's gifted with some easy kills. The first comes when she unleashes a nasty spinning heel kick across this medic's jaw, basically executing him. This is followed by a classic sweep of the leg and heel to the neck combo, severing this man's vertebrae and adding him to the count. The final kill of this section comes when this guy's hourglass runs out of sand, and Girl, I think, curb stomps him. The animation was pretty zoomed in, but I'm going to assume this was at very least a life-altering blow to the back of the head. She gets a call from Rotting and is made aware of the fact Jonkler has placed a few bombs around the park to try and get more kills than the killer couple, and so she heads over to the bomb to stop it from detonating and meets Rotting there. When she arrives, she drives this medic's skull into this electric box, which kills him, before the pair link up for another classic kill combo, as Girl throws this thug into the path of a spinning kick to the back of the head from Rotting, and then Rotting beats down the next thug he kills before jamming the rot stick into his throat at rapid speed, which I'm going to presume kills him due to the vital blood vessels which are around that spot. He follows it up with another killer couple combo, as we run the good old stick through the ribcage from high altitude routine, which results in a fatal jab to the heart. Girl then has to go and rescue her penultimate batch of comically kidnapped cops as she heads to the Ferris wheel. Once there, she runs into a gang of armed thugs. Her first kills comes when she straight kicks this sniper into a metal railing, which we can pretty clearly see his head bounce off. Her next kill comes when she realises these floors carry the same electrical current as the combined kilowatts of most third world countries combined, and she uses this realisation to bring this man's life to an end. The exact same fate awaits her next kill, and sadly she can't get any more in this section. But the night is young, and a gang of 9 new victims tries to stop Girl's murderous rage. Her first kill out of this group comes from our most reliable weapon in the series, the delayed inverted takedown, named due to the fact the enemy has to stop moving before we can cut the rope, because this means there is absolutely no chance they can break their fall and survive, and spoiler alert, every kill in this section comes by way of this, including this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, and you'll never guess what happens to the final 4 guys. Well, it involves being dangled 15 feet above the ground and then dropped directly onto their heads. This leaves a pile of corpses at the bottom of the gargoyles, which we do enjoy seeing, but the night isn't over yet. No, there's still more kills to get. Rotting informs us of yet another one of Jonkler's silly bombs, so we begin heading over there and suplex this man onto his C1 vertebrae, killing him, before kicking this man, and this man into 3 separate spotlights, which result in fatal amounts of electrical current being forced into their skull. Once we find Rotting and the bomb, we disarm it using the code which reads sub to Charles Cardy, and then are jumped by even more victims. The first is thrown into this electrical box in what has become a real Arkham Knight classic. Another spinning heel kick to the jaw confirms this man won't be making it to May 26, 2026, which is followed by another one of Rotting's weird stick combos where I actually still can't figure out what he does, or even if it's fatal, but I'm going to assume everything he does is fatal to some degree, and add it to the count. A killer couple combo combines this criminal's ribs into his lungs, which adds 1 more kill to the count, and a second combo kill means this man's ribcage is ground into fine paste by the rot stick, and our final kill in this section comes when the rot stick connects with this goon's jaw at light speed, killing him. Girl is alerted to another batch of victims wielding high-powered rifles, but she isn't phased and heads over there to see if any of them can become a statistic, and she's pleasantly surprised as this guy is smashed into the floor at supersonic speed, before another unprotected German suplex ends this man's career, and as fun as that was, it's brought to a screeching halt and we don't claim any more kills here. Our next group of potential victims comes when we head underground to go and hunt some more prey. The first kill here is created by an environmental takedown as we drop this heavy light fixture onto this guy's head, and sticking with the theme of smashing skulls, here's a man's jaw being well and truly spun around the circumference of his skull. Oh, and there's another one. Joker then comes on screen to talk to us about dead babies, which I find very strange. I mean, if I had a V-book for every time Jonkler and Girl were involved in a scene which involved killing babies in this series, I'd have 2 V-books, which isn't a lot, but it's still strange.
Best way to cure baby brain is to get rid of the babies.
threats to her family, a couple of bad jokes, a picture of a dead baby as a threat.
Another group stands in our way, and so their leader is thrown into the floor after being turned into the human equivalent of a dart. And to follow this up, we suplex this man into real wood, Crimea River, before spinning this man's head 360 degrees on his neck. After this, we get what is by far our biggest Predator room yet. We begin proceedings with a girl classic, the human dart and suplex combo. It's actually followed up with yet another suplex, which means we can add 3 kills to the count. I also unlocked an achievement that you don't have here, which is pretty cool. I then discovered a new toy, an epic squid. This squid releases gas, which is most definitely lethal considering the description says it was booby-trapped by Jonkler. The next line says something about knockout gas, but shut up. We managed to lure 4 victims into our trap, which means we can add them to the count as their insides burn and they inhale some of Jonkler's very own laugh pack. These would have been the final kills of this room, but the god of murder, Man, was clearly smiling down on us today because our final victim falls to his death, smacking his head on the floor after he falls approximately 10 feet. We then discover the whereabouts of Jimmy G, who, remember, is still being held captive by Jonkler and Harry Quinn, and so that's our next destination. After some more light aura farming from Girl, who is very quickly making a stake as my favourite character in the Arkham serial killer extended universe, or the ASCII for short, we make it to our final destination, and find Quinn and Jonkler ready for a showdown between the two couples who are vying for the title of the coolest killer couple. The first kill of the fight comes when Girl sets up this man for rotting to boot straight in the solar plexus, killing him. The next kill was made infinitely more funny as I was writing this script, as I realised this guy is the first man in the series to quite literally be slammed through the floor. This DLC really is a love letter to the series. As poetic as it would be to have this love letter to the series be the final kill of the run, the next kill comes through Girl and Rotting moulding this man's skull into a fine point. This is the final kill of the run, but it's not quite over, because Jonkler, seeing himself and Harry getting their asses whooped, one in particular, if you smell what I'm cooking, decides to take his girl hostage and use her as a distraction to escape multiple life sentences at the hand of the law. Look, we've all done it one way or another. Jonkler jumps from the oil rig and ironically lets Quinn take the fall as he activates his glider and somehow glides all the way back to Gotham without swimming at any point. Jimmy G tries to thank the killer couple but somehow doesn't realise his daughter is in fact Girl. This brings the night to an end, a night full of kills, like more than I thought, but how many did we actually get? Well, by my count, we got 61. Now, obviously, this could be improved upon if you killed the enemies in the open world, but if you've seen the series before, you know we tend to only go after the ones who hinder our progress in the main story, so 61 is the final count. This DLC genuinely shocked me when playing. I knew we had to change the rules because these two make Man look more merciful, and that is the highest compliment one can receive in this series. This was a departure from the norm of this series, but it was a fun one, and I hope you enjoyed. I enjoyed making it. I love this DLC, and it might be one of my favourite Arkham DLCs in general. It's got a good story, a fun gimmick with Barbara's hacking stick, and really makes full use of Arkham Knight's graphics. Like, seriously, it's unreasonably good looking. I mean, the whole game is, but you get what I'm saying. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe, like, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Shut Arkham City down. It's out of control.
Shut it down. By the end of tonight, I will be a hero, just like you. Batman.